Beautiful day! Easy Auto Fix here, and today we're going to learn how to replace your transmission range sensor. Some of the symptoms you might be experiencing when your transmission range sensor goes bad is your car going into limp mode? Meaning, every time you put your car on drive, is it stuck to just one gear? Do you feel like your car is very sluggish? Or when you look into your cluster, are your RPMs limited? Could you only go to like 2,500 RPMs or 3,000? You can't go anything higher? Or maybe your miles per hour. Maybe you're limited to 30 or 40. All of that is part of limp mode. Another symptom that occurs is whenever you have your car on and you go from park to reverse, it just makes a clunk sound. I'll be showing you in the video here coming up soon. Another symptom could be there's no shift reading on the cluster. When you go from parking to reverse to neutral, and maybe you get the P on there, the P or the drive, but the R doesn't show, or it shows for a little bit, then it disappears. Then you just have like a 0 and a slash. That could be a symptom as well. I mean, that basically means that the car doesn't know what position the transmission's in. Now I'm going to show you the live examples that happened to me while I was working on this car. Here you can see the car shutter. And here you'll see the cluster shift reading malfunctioning. So basically the whole purpose of the transmission range sensor is to communicate with the TCM or PCM to let it know what position the transmission lever's on. So the tools you'll need for this job is needle nose pliers, 12 and 10 millimeter socket or gear wrench, extensions, swivel, silicone grease, and brake clean. So the first step that should always be considered when you're working on electrical components is to disconnect the negative terminal from the battery. The second step is to put your car in neutral along with the parking brake. Now if we look at it from a top view, here's the transmission range sensor, and behind the coolant hose, that's where the shifting cable will be. The third step is to remove the clip from the shifting cable, and doing that you'll need pliers. In my case, mine was already off. The fourth step is to remove the 12 millimeter nut from the shifting lever. Pulling the lever all the way back will be parking, followed by reverse, followed by neutral. That's the position we want to leave it into, and we want to remove that shifting lever. The fifth step is to remove these two 8 millimeter bolts. For the bottom bolt, I used an extension attached to a swivel and I angled it accordingly. For the top bolt, I used a right angle impact gun. You can use whatever works better for you. In my case, this worked perfect for me. Our sixth step is to remove the connector. Now if we take a closer look here, we can look at the damaged splines here in the transmission range sensor. These damaged splines are the reason why the transmission loses its position. Now we're going to clean the splines with brake clean. This is going to help us remove some debris that was collected through time. And now we'll put some silicone grease to help us slide in the transmission range sensor. So as you can see here in the transmission range sensor, there's a flat spot. So that flat spot has to line up perfectly to the flat spot on the spline of the car. And you do that by holding the middle of the transmission range sensor and you rotate it until it can't rotate no more. That meaning it's the parking. And then you rotate it, you'll feel a click, that's reverse. Then you rotate it a little more, and then that'll be neutral. And that's the position we want to use. Now when you slide the transmission range sensor in, you want to make sure it's parallel from both sides. If you're pivoted too much to the right or pivoted too much to the left, it's going to create more resistance for you to slide it in. Now from this point on, we just put everything back together how we took it off. If you guys feel like you learned anything today, please like and subscribe. That'll help me a lot. Let's get back to it. Now for the moment of truth. Awesome, no shutter from parking to reverse. And we got no shift malfunctions. Perfect. I appreciate all of you guys for watching this video. I hope you all have a great day, night, midday, afternoon, lunchtime, whatever, you get it.